I'm Julie Walsh, owner and curator of Soul Gallery here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'd like to announce that we're having an upcoming show October 3rd, extended till October 17th, called Heaven and Earth. And I really want to introduce you to the man of the hour, artist Manny Schulz, a Manitoba artist, and he's fairly new to our gallery, and I'm just delighted to have him here. I'm going to pass this over to him, and he's going to share a little bit about his exhibition and the works in the show.
Hi. So this piece, as part of my Heaven and Earth exhibition, is called The Crossing, and it's part of the exploration of the grand, big, open prairie skies and the land that we call home. And so this is based on a photograph that I took a number of years ago on the trip back home to Winnipeg from Edmonton. And it's capturing not only the big open skies of the prairies and the movement in that, but also a moment where we have to capture the stillness and reflect and stop at an intersection in this case, but also to reflect on our life and think about where our placement is in our journey through the arc of our time. And this piece is called Nature's Echo, and it's based on a reference video that I took back in July in the Lake of the Woods area. And this painting was also the focus of a number of live demonstration events at Soul Gallery in advance of the show, where people saw how it was during its initial sketching and how it was developing it through the phases where you can see it now. And the painting is called Nature's Echo because echoes are not just heard, but they're seen. And in this painting, you're seeing lots of echoes, not only in the background here in the escarpment of that which you can see above the horizon, but that which you usually see below. But in this area in the foreground, the trees, which you actually don't see the tops of the tree lines, you're seeing more of it reflected as an echo into the water. Similarly, so we're seeing the sky above and the sky below. We're seeing the rock here and the rock below. And so it's nature's echo. And so this piece, not only was it a live demonstration event, but it was also another part of this was it's part of the abstract artwork that I was doing. And so we have two pieces here. This one is called Lily Pads, which is an abstract version of what you're seeing here. And this one's the rock. And this is capturing some of this visual aspect over here. And so this piece is called The Shield, which is a celebration of the Canadian Shield, which in Canada is very iconic. And we see it in Manitoba all the way from the White Shell and the Lake of the Woods area. But of course, the Canadian Shield goes all across the country, all the way to Quebec and beyond. And this scene was captured as part of a video, again, that I took in July while we were in the Lake of the Woods area. And I spent a lot of time working on the sketching for this piece. And in advance of that as well, I did a little bit of a study piece. And this is also going to be in the exhibition. And this is also called The Shield. But it's really my study piece for that. And I did it in a smaller format, in this case in square format. But I eventually went to a piece that was a little bit more sort of landscape orientation, where it was longer than it was high, because I wanted to not only capture this triangular rock, but I also wanted to capture this longer sweeping diagonal coming through the top portion of this that segregated the water and the rocks from the deep greens of the boreal forest. So this piece, called The Shield, is a celebration of so much of what we have here in Manitoba and beyond our Canadian Shield. And so this is the other feature wall as part of the Heaven and Earth exhibition. And it's capturing all of these big, open, expansive skies, starting with the painting over there called Prairie Skies and working through the Oak Hill series, which may be familiar to some of you, but I did something that artists are not really supposed to do, which is I redid a lot of these paintings. So I took off the varnish, redid a lot of the skies, the trees, the grasses. If you've seen them before, come down and see them again. I think you would like the work that I've done on them. But I do want to feature and focus on this last piece that's in this sequence, and it's called Holding On. And this painting was based on a photograph that I took at the heights of the pandemic. And so the night before in December, we had this big blustery snowfall blizzard, and we awoke and there was this beautiful, radiant, sunny day with snow crisply falling below your feet. So my wife and I went for a walk. We went to the Barrier Park in Winnipeg, And so then it was towards sunset, and the sun was setting through the scene, beautiful orange skies. But then I also noticed there were hanging onto the trees some oak leaves. And so that inspired me, in the orange of the leaves, the orange of the sun, to come up with this painting called Holding On, which also is a little bit of how it felt for me and perhaps for others as well during the pandemic. We were holding on valiantly to being human and real, and at the same time looking at all of the beauty in nature all around us.